Alright, this time around we're going to make us a Ranger belt. And it's going to be a big one. Well, lengthwise, it's not going to be that long, but it's going to be wide. It's going to be a 3-inch wide Ranger belt. The fella I'm making it for sent me this buckle. And that's what I'm making the billet for. Let me show you this real quick. I have a billet pattern. This is for your, usually on a Ranger belt, you have a 1-inch belt and maybe a 1.5 inch or 2-inch wide. Like this is a 1.5 inch wide belt, and this would fit, well, like that, if this was a billet for this belt. But this one, let's see, where's that buckle? There it is. The inside of the buckle, if I remember correctly, is 1 5/8 inch wide. So it's a bit wider. So I took the pattern I made, my billet pattern, and I laid it out on a piece of paper. I guess I should have shown you this before I cut it up, eh? Yeah, it's this way. And I drew some guidelines. First thing I did was I went up the width of my straight edge, or my ruler here. I went up that because I knew that I was going to put some shape into the end of the billet. And then I drew another line about, I think it's about a 1/2 inch or so. 1/2 inch, let's see. The second line is about a 1/4 inch outside of the line where I put in the width of the billet. That's where I'm going to put my little curvy ends on it. So I use my, I don't know what this is called, but it's amazingly handy. And if you make your own patterns, I recommend you pick one of these things up. You can find them in stationery stores, or I think like in the stationery department of Walmart and places like that. I put a couple of different size curves on it, and I laid them out. Oh wait, first thing I did, before I did that, is I went through and I got my billet pattern, and I marked where the peaks would be. Like, I'll move this hand over here, like where this peak is and where the peak on that curve is, because I wanted it like this except wider. Then I took my curvy thing and drew my curves and came up with this. This is the pattern for the billet. There's going to be one for the buckle end and one for the strap end. Then, after I had this completed, here you go, let me just hold it like that. Oops. I experimented with the finish. He wants a natural leather finish, so I thought, what would look good if I added a little bit of depth, or a little bit of, I guess artificially added some age to it, I guess. But what I did is I took a piece of leather and I treated it with neat's foot, left that to sit overnight, and then I coated it with some top coat, or a tan coat as a top coat. There we go. Buff that, and this is what I came out with. That's the finish I ended up with. I think that looks pretty good. You have your natural leather finish, but these two together give it a little bit more richness, a little bit more depth, and since I buffed it, I don't know if you can see, it's got a little bit of shine on it. I don't know if you can catch that or not, but it gave it a little bit of shine. This is what it was like before. So that's before and after. I like the after. I think it looks pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to submit all this to the fellow I'm making this for, both the finish and the shape of the billet. And either we're going to change it around to the way he likes it, because, you know, if you're going to have something made custom, then there's a way that you're going to want to have it. Some people just tell me, oh, do it the way you do it. I trust you. I'm like, okay. But a lot of times people have an idea in their mind, and I try to bring that idea to life, to make it real. Like if somebody's got a holster idea or, you know, knife sheath idea or something like that. And sometimes I'm kind of a pain about it because I keep asking questions. I want it to be specific because I want it to make it right. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to submit these and see what he thinks. And as soon as I get approval on it, we're going to start cutting leather. We'll see you then.